Kai Williams is our next guest. Can you throw me my pen back? I might need it. That's Hans.
There we go.
Of the Saskatchewan Rattlers, South Dakota product, and he joins us today on video chat. How you doing, Kai?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Good. By the way, I've known Kai and Jamal as brothers since they were kids. Because of the U of R and Canada West theme through your family, what do you think of the news today that they've canceled the fall sports? Any thoughts on what this means for post-secondary athletes?
I mean, it's going to impact everybody a lot, and it's really unfortunate to hear. My brother is currently one of the assistant coaches for the Cougars, so he's not really happy about the news, and obviously they want to get back on court as soon as possible, but at the same time, with everybody's health and safety in mind, they're understanding of it.
That's the thing. And it's similar to the junior hockey players, the NHL players, NBA that have either been paused or canceled. Everybody's going through this. It's now just going through virtual stages, and it just sucks for everybody. But I got to ask you this. I saw Jamal in the gas station not that long ago. I don't know if he told you. And he said, hey, he said year-end tournament. And we were thinking it was going to be in Saskatoon for the CEBL, but they're talking Southern Ontario. What do you know about this upcoming season for the Rattlers and the 8-team league?
Honestly, just the same as you, that they want to do a tournament in Ontario. Obviously, certain precautions would go in and would be covered and whatnot to ensure everybody's safety. I think it would be great if we could do it, obviously, to ensure everybody's safety and to get back on the court. I was surprised, though, that they were going to do it in a place like Ontario instead of maybe a place like Saskatchewan where the cases are so low. But I do understand that there's more teams out in Ontario, so that does make sense as well.
You know, you heard me say, I think our poll question is, if you're an athlete, would you want to play? I'll ask you what your personal answer is to that, and what are your teammates and friends saying about coming back to play? Because there's some fear in the NBA, NHL. Some guys don't want to. So what's the word amongst your circle?
Well, I know that a lot of my friends or teammates and stuff would be interested in playing for sure. Personally, as long as everything can be insured in terms of right precautions, I would have no problem with playing. So, everybody's competitive. They're passionate. We have a strong love for the game. So everybody wants to get out on the court. And I think that if certain leagues can ensure everybody's safety and that they'll do a good job with maintaining that, I honestly don't know many guys that would oppose to play at all this summer.
How did the signing of you and the Rattlers come to be, by the way? I'm calling up the news release here. April 7th is when the Rattlers announced it, and for us that have been following your career for a long time, kind of brought a smile to our face, but it also kind of came out of the blue. How did it come to be?
So last year I got contacted by Greg Jockums to possibly play this past season or in their first season. And I was unable to come home because my daughter was going to be born on June 1st, so we stayed in the UK for that. And then I just reached out to Barry since once I heard of his new appointment, and me and Barry have a little bit of history through him being at Holy Cross while I was at Campbell. So just reached out to him and just gauged any interest, and we got talking from there, and then just led to a contract eventually being sent over shortly after.
South Dakota State University is where Kai went after attending Campbell. It was with D1, by the way. Was it 3 years that you played with the Jackrabbits? How was that experience, by the way, before going pro in Europe for so long?
I played all my 4 years eligibility down at SCSU. So from 2006 to 2010. So it was a great experience. Obviously, learned a lot about myself being that far away from home, and just having some great coaches and some great teammates. So it was a great experience. I definitely wouldn't change it for anything. We weren't a very good team my first 2 years, but my last 2 years we finished 5th in the conference, so we were much better. So yeah, it was a great experience overall, and I think having a coach like Scott Nagy really definitely prepared me for professional basketball in terms of just how you have to handle yourself on and off the court.
So what has you excited about playing in the CEBL?
Just playing back in Canada. I always wanted to, if there was any opportunity to play back in Canada. I really wish this pandemic wasn't going on, because I think it would be even more special to be able to play in Saskatoon and play closer to home. But just the fact that I'm able to touch down and play in Canada, that would be pretty special, because it's always been something that I've really wanted to do.
Well, special is a good term. Rattlers games are special. Obviously, they've sold you on it because you signed, but I got to ask you how excited your family is to have you back playing at home again. Well, it's a 2-hour drive, but it's nothing compared to what it has been. How excited are they?
Yeah, I mean, my mom and dad have obviously traveled all over to come see us play, whether it's in the States or across Canada, and then they've made the few trips over to the UK as well to see us play. So they're definitely happy about it. I know my friends from like my teammates and stuff from high school were really happy about it. So the support, I guess, that I received once I signed was absolutely amazing. So it felt really good to be signed back home.
Okay, 2 last questions. Looks like your whole season is going to come down to one weekend in a tournament. That is hella weird. What is that like for you to prepare? I mean, it's the best of what we have, but it's a little strange. I mean, how are you training right now, and what are your thoughts on having your regular season basically be no regular season, just a playoff tournament to decide it all?
Well, one good thing about a shortened season is that there's a lot of games and not very much practice. So, I mean, I know players really enjoy playing in the games, obviously. So that'll be unique. But in terms of preparing, it's just home workouts, shooting on the driveway. My brother and I have been doing some Zoom calls at level 10. So we've had access to level 10 for 20 minutes before a Zoom call and 20 minutes after a Zoom call. So just honestly making the most of any opportunity I have to get on courts or use a hoop. So it's just like everybody, kind of the natural of how we started playing the game, whether it was outside on the driveway or in our backyards. That's basically taken back to square one.
And just lastly, we've got some messages here from our viewers. Love you, Kai. From Mick, glad to have you home, friend. I mean, this is, for those that don't know, this is a big deal for the Williams family and the city of Regina, but you've referenced your brother a couple times. You come from a mixed family on this Black Lives Matter thing. What was it like growing up here, Kai, with that background? Your dad, Rich, is a basketball legend. He's from the Bronx, is he not? He's a legendary basketball guy here. Yeah, we've talked about that with him and I. But what about for you kids? What was it like growing up here with that background?
I think that it was definitely different. We have a pretty unique perspective with my mother being white and from England, and my dad being black and from the States. I definitely, now that I'm older and able to understand maybe some of the things that were said, that there was definitely some subtle and underlying racist remarks throughout our lives growing up. I feel like we experienced more racism when we were all together as a family. So when my dad was around, obviously we were maybe treated a little bit different. And, it's racism is far reaching. And even though Canada is a great place and Saskatchewan is a great place, there definitely is that goes on in our city. But I'm thankful that I grew up in a mixed family. I'm able to understand people from all different walks of life and see people from all different walks of life as just human beings and whatnot. But we also grew up with a lot of great friends and family as well. So, I never experienced any type of animosity or anything like that from any of my friends growing up, and I'm thankful for that. And obviously with our experiences overseas as well, that really broadened our eyes. So even though there's a lot of dark times going on right now, I'm still thankful for the life that I've been able to lead. Well,
what an outlook. Like you say, there are good things to it as well, and you've stressed those. So can't wait to see you back in action with the Rattlers. We are already big Rattlers fans here, Kai, so even more so now. Appreciate the time, and stay safe.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. You guys stay safe as well.
Thank you. Kai Williams joining us from the Saskatchewan Rattlers. And just before we go to break, there's a guy you want to cheer for, eh, Dupes?
Oh, yeah. Big time. A guy who's from the province, wants to represent the team, but also, a guy who's been around and he's put in the work, right? I love guys like that who have put in the work, put in the time, and they've earned the opportunity.
It's one of those guys that just exudes pro.
Yeah.
You can just wait till you see him on the court.
Yeah.
You look good there.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.